Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the Fresh Start Show with Dr. Co-host Tom Cortez. Listen, it's going down. It's going down here on 106 The Groove. We always say get your coffee, get your hot cocoa, get your favorite cereal, cream of wheat, bagel, donut. It's going down. It's the Fresh Start Show. Listen, we're looking to have a wonderful time again on this Saturday morning. We always are thankful for all of our partners and all of our supporters who are with us, hang with us, and ride or die. They're with the Fresh Start international organization. And listen, we're doing some wonderful things, some great things, and we're going to be sharing some of those things on today with you. Listen, rise and shine. It's a beautiful day. You should be thankful that God has blessed you with another day, a day you've never seen, and also a day you'll never see it again. So you might as well be thankful for this day. You have 5 reasons to be grateful today. Number 1, God woke you up this morning. Number 2, God woke you up this morning. Number 3, God woke you up this morning. Number 4, God woke you up this morning. And number 5, God woke you up this morning. So be happy. Put a smile on your face. Listen, it's the Fresh Start Show. Listen, we got Save the Day, October 21st of this year. It's going down at the TCC Tucson Convention Center from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going down. Well, listen, we're bringing the courts again. City courts, justice courts, juvenile courts, superior courts, public defender's office, county attorney's office, Laura Conover and her team. Listen, it's going down. We're restoring rights. We're helping out with court fees and fines. We're helping you to squash those warrants. Listen, expungements. Listen, it's going down. We're helping you with felony-friendly job opportunities, haircuts, clothes, you name it. It's going down at the expo. It's nothing like us. As Laura Conover said, Fresh Start is about public safety. Actually, we are hosting the largest public safety event in Tucson. So listen, you want to come down, get your friends, get your neighbors, get your family members, your church members, your community members down on October 21st. It's going down. Listen, we're even going to be offering free childcare through the Girl Scouts of America. And we're just looking to impact our community, bring healing to our community, and to help our brothers and sisters to stop looking over their back because of those warrants. We also helping people with suspended driver's license to help you to get your driver's license back reinstated. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just awesome of the great things that God has blessed us to be able to do. And so keep it locked. October 21st. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is going down at the TCC Fresh Start Expo. You want to be there. All right, Tom, what's going on, man? We got a great event on next week. We need the city of Tucson to know Fresh Start is more than just a one-hit wonder that we do in October. Let them know what else we're doing.
Well, I'll tell you what. May 3rd, Wednesday, next week, it's wonderful that we're able to have this opportunity because we started developing a relationship with the parole and the Department of Corrections. And that's 2 of the relationships we really needed to get involved with Fresh Start and then the juvenile. And those 3 things are coming together. It's like, we're getting out of the way and we're letting these things just fall into place. And it's wonderful how it's occurring. So there's going to be a resource and job fair there, but it's only for people that are on parole. This is not a public event. They're making this so just specifically for the population that is going to benefit the most from it at this time. Plus, it's going to give us an opportunity to get people prepared for the October event. And I'll tell you, in the October event, bro, we're probably going to see the first people receive the Seal Your Record.
Wow.
Right? Because we're going to have people apply for that have been 3 years from their absolute discharge. And I'm getting chills, because their whole future will be changed because anybody looking into their past is not going to be able to see it. And that just makes for a flourishing future.
So talk a little bit more about that new legislation took place in January. Seal Your Records. A lot of people don't know what that is.
Seal Your Record law is for a non-dangerous crime, and there's very specific crimes. You have to look it up, and there's a lot of people that fall in the category.
Yeah.
But 3 years from absolute discharge, you will be able to apply to the courts to get your record sealed so that anybody that you go to for a job or for housing cannot look into your criminal background because that will be sealed from them. And that would, because of the law, and it categorizes what laws and what crimes will fit into this. I believe everybody will be for it, and this is a start. This is a beginning to where we are going toward in the future for criminal legislature and changing the criminal code and those things that are going to make a difference now with people going into prison. So they don't have to go to truth in sentencing looking at 85% of a sentence that they were given with no compassion or no empathy for why anything occurred.
Yes. So when you get out of prison, you keep your nose clean for about 3 years. You're going to be able to perhaps qualify. There's some other underlying conditions within this legislation. But for the most part, from everybody I've been talking to, from judges to lawyers to prosecutors, they really believe this is a good legislation going in the right direction as far as getting to expungement. So listen, if you can get qualified for this, I actually referred a couple people to get their full expungement through this legislation, and it actually happened. They actually called me and said thank you for referring me to get this taken care of. So I mean, man, that's just super powerful to where a person who made a bad choice, a person who made a mistake, does not have to be a victim of that choice for the rest of their life. And that's what happens when you go to prison and you go in for a felony. It's not just about you completing your sentence, but having to deal with that following you for the rest of your life. And just give a little bit more of your testimony. I don't think we talk about it enough on our show. There's a lot of listeners who need some inspiration, and they think that all hope is lost, all hope is gone. And I think when you share your testimony, I think it's a release for you, but it's inspiration for listeners. So I would like you to just go into that a little bit.
I'm constantly being bombarded with requests from God to speak.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about brokenness and trauma and those things that occurred throughout my life, there's people that hear that.
Yeah.
And they begin to believe, if they hear it enough, that they can say it.
Yeah.
And that they can trust that the person that they say it to is not going to use it against them. They're going to use it for them. And I believe that all of those things occurred for a reason, because it equips me today to do the things that I'm able to do in the city today. But the trauma we constantly talk about, it happens at youth, and then it develops and it grows, and then you start to get in trouble. And I talk about the compound and the complex trauma, and how the hypervigilance that you have through those periods of time where you're going through the trauma, it makes your brain crave that environment, so that when that environment's not there, you create it. Yeah. It's like I always say that negative behavior, negative attention and positive attention are attention. And somebody seeking to get attention, it doesn't matter which one, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
And so as far as the testimony goes, bro, I mean, gunfight with Tucson Police Department, paralyzed from the waist down, die on the operating table, looking at the rest of my life in prison. And it was only the power of God that raised me out of that chair and said that I have more for you. But there was a learning process to go through, and there was a learning curve that I had to deal with. And you know what? I'm stupid, bro. And I make mistakes, and I repeatedly make mistakes. And you say it all the time. Second chance, third chance, fourth chance?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We need a fresh chance, fresh start, like every time, bro, because you got to scratch the slate clean and start over. But you got to start over from a place where you didn't start from the begin with, because you got to start from where those traumas happened.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're doing. We're not getting to that point where people are going to get the help for those traumas. And we're automatically saying, well, we got to stop the addiction. We got to stop the fentanyl, If we start addressing the bullying in schools, and we start addressing the kids that are lonely and drawn out in school, and looking at those children and saying, maybe this is something that we should look into, and then we start at an early date, right? Yeah. And then we start to make an impact much earlier, and then they don't have to take the course that my life took.
Yeah.
You know, when you go from molestation to abuse to just addictions to drown it all out, bro, what do you anticipate that the result of that is going to be? A gunfight with Tucson Police Department, you know? And do you think you're going to win that, bro? You're not going to win that. But the battles that we do win is by having the 28 years that I did in prison, and everything that I had in those 28 years now is equipped me to be a powerful advocate for everybody that is in there, for everybody that is getting out of there, for everybody that suffers before there. In all of those places, I believe God has given me a testimony that is going to save lives. And not because of me, bro, but because of him showing that the brokenness is not a drawback. It's a positive, it's a gift. And if we use the gifts that he has given us, other people won't go through the trauma that we went through.
So why is it important for those who are listening, and we actually have people who's incarcerated that listen to our show, speak to them in regards to who's incarcerated and maybe on their way coming out, what kind of mindset that they need to start having far as they're on their way back to re-enter society?
I mean, first and foremost, as long as you're in prison, be there. Be there 24/7. Don't leave there. Stay hyper vigilant. But in your mind, believe that your world is out here. It's not in there. And there's a thing that your mind does to you while you're in there, that you get this cage mindset, you get this box mindset, and you get this chip on your shoulder. So I'm gonna, you know, everybody's got to know that I'm gonna. You know what, bro? That ain't about nothing. You know, the bottom line, I say it all the time, bro, that you know, it's not a man that can walk across the prison yard and stick a shank in somebody's neck. The man is the dude that can walk across the prison yard and say, do you know my Savior, Jesus Christ, and can I introduce you to him? Right? That's a man. And to do that in prison, bro, you're putting your life in jeopardy. Right? But no, you're not. You're not. Because anything that you do for him, he blesses, he flourishes, he fills his praises with himself. Right? So, I mean, what a gift. I could not have done what I had done in all those years, bro, without the Lord Jesus Christ. I would not be where I am today without that, bro. It is only by that power that because I'm still broken. We talk about it all the time. There's stuff in me, bro, that's just, you know,
it's a journey.
I mean, that mosaic, when you break the glass, there's a whole bunch of pieces. You know, the Lord comes through and he cuts off all those trees and he takes down that forest. But there's a whole bunch of root systems. And those root systems got to be dug up. We got to get the root grinder in there, and that takes work. And
so let me ask you this. So coming out of prison, for those that are listening, what are some of the hurdles that they're going to deal with? What did you deal with? And how did you get over some of those hurdles, having a background issue, having a felony issue? Let's talk into some of these tangibles that people need to hear to inspire them when they're coming out. You're going to have to work your butt off.
And if you think that there's going to be no walls, there's going to be walls. Every place you go, somebody's going to set up a wall as soon as you say, I just came from prison. You know, that I've been incarcerated. Or you're covered in tattoos and you walk into a room and they know this is prison tattoos. You know, I don't think this is the place for you. Well, you know what? That's going to happen. Be resilient. Stand back up. Thank you very much for your time. And go to the next one. Because you know what? The negative is, man, they denied me again. The positive is, I'm one step closer to yes. You know, as many people as keep telling me no, I'm one step closer to yes. And the next person may be that yes. And I'm going to keep advocating for myself. And you know what, bro? Because of what we do, we know they're not advocating for themselves. We're there. We're there with them. There's organizations that, dear God, I mean, for Fresh Start, we get people just like a stampede. When we ask for people to step, we get a stampede of organizations to say, I want to take part. I want to help. And for me, bro, coming out of prison and seeing that witness, that changes a lot. Because the time before when I got out, I didn't see anybody as caring. And now every place I turn, bro, there's somebody that wants to help in some way.
Wow. So what did you do in times of rejection, in times when people told you no? What was your strategy of resilience to just keep pressing through? Like, I am not taking no for an answer.
Well, you know, where we are is where we're supposed to be, because there's something to learn there, or there's something that we have to give there. So that place, he said, shake the sand from your feet and go to the next town.
Yeah.
And that's what you do, bro. You just shake they don't want me.
Yeah.
They're lost.
Yeah.
Because what I have to give, and I'm telling you, bro, in prison, man, there's so much talent. And the hearts of those men and women that are in there, they want to serve. They want to give back. But a lot of them don't know how, because they've never been in a position of habilitation.
Yeah.
They've never been in a position where they learn their skills.
Yeah.
Man, bro, when you turn those loose, and sometimes it gets turned loose in there. You see the artists, and even tattoos illegal in there. What you see, some of the most beautiful tattoos you've ever seen, and these guys are doing it with like a guitar string and a pen.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Just extraordinary talent.
Wow. And so you've been there with us for the last couple of years, attending Fresh Start events, working with us, volunteering with us. So what was your experience? I remember you telling me that a few people walked out with smiles on their face, really had testimonies about, now they can live their lives because of Fresh Start. So could you talk a little bit into that?
You love the smiles, bro. but I'll tell you what, the tears.
Yeah.
The tears are extraordinary.
Yeah.
The story that I always tell, the one gentleman in particular that came in and he looked pretty rough, and he goes over there, and Dora, the stylist, just the beautiful young lady that cuts hair for us, and she starts praying over him and doing his hair and stuff, and he starts sitting up a little bit, and his head starts to tilt back. And then he goes up from there and he goes over to DKA, and DKA sets him up with some clothes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And the dude that goes and turns that corner, goes down that hallway for those felony-friendly employers, is a different man than walked in that door, because his shoulders are back, his chin is up, and he believes in himself because everybody that he just had contact with believed in him.
Wow.
And they transferred that to him, bro, with their speech, with their love, with their kindness. And you see that all day at Fresh Start. The first year, 400, right? Last year, 1,000 people. So, my neck's hurting by the end of the day, because I keep turning my head and I'm seeing this person smiling and laughing with their family over here.
Yeah.
This person crying with their family over here. And it was tears of joy, bro.
Yeah.
And then you go into the big room and there's people speaking about their testimony. And then there's city officials that are up there saying, this is the most important event we can do. For public safety in Tucson. And we have to couple and be partners with the citizens coming out of prison just as much with the citizens who are here in the city.
Yeah.
And we need to bring it back together. That's what restorative justice is. Transformative justice is bringing the whole system back together so that we relate as a community and not as a garage door.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
I see you through the window of my vehicle, but I don't have to see you after my garage door closes.
Yes. Listen, guys, you hear it. We're telling you about the powerful things, impactful testimonials that we saw with our last Fresh Start event. And listen, it's coming back to us this year. And we got good news. Fresh Start is expanding. Fresh Start is expanding. So it's a possibility we're looking at right now that we could be having a Fresh Start Phoenix in 2024. Wow, can you imagine that?
Wow.
Fresh Start Phoenix. Man, again, that is crazy to take it to our largest city in our state. And listen, you guys are listening. Y'all get ready for 2024. Save the date. So we're beginning conversations about Fresh Start Phoenix and also Fresh Start Atlanta, Georgia. Wow.
There we go.
This is crazy. I thank God. That's how I know the vision is bigger than me.
I'm setting up the dominoes.
He's setting them up. Listen, there's so much to my vision that I've had for Fresh Start. Obviously, we're doing the first steps right now is having these events and helping people with their legal issues and dealing with warrant issues and getting expungements to deal with felonies. So that's kind of like the first wave. The second wave is looking at getting a resource center, an empowerment center, where we will be offering jobs. We'll be offering jobs training. You can come to the Fresh Start Resource Center to be able to get some of your other holistic needs met at the resource center. But the third thing that's powerful to me, and I know God had put it in my heart, is to create a wrongful conviction division, to where we will have many of our legal partners that will work with Fresh Start to help open up cold cases, to where we have left people to rot and die in jail cells and prison cells, and those cases went cold. No witnesses, no evidence, and so they just leave them into prison to rot and die. I want to have a Fresh Start wrongful convictions division, to where our attorneys will go back and work with prosecutors and detectives and look at new evidence, look at new DNA technology to help exonerate people who have been left in prison for decades. This is God's work, man. This is way bigger than me. I mean, I'm smart, but I ain't that smart. I mean, it takes an intelligent, wonderful, loving God to not forget about people who's been incarcerated. And that's my vision, and I think people probably need to hear more about it. But look, we are expanding. My vision was to always have an international headquarters, and Tucson will eventually become its own affiliate. Phoenix will eventually become its own affiliate. Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, Atlanta will eventually become its own affiliate. You know, at some point, they're just going to be running on momentum, in their own autonomy, just doing the work, and I just oversee as the CEO from a national perspective, but each affiliate has their own executive director, and I mean, just doing it, man. To God be the glory for what he has done, and that's why I love Fresh Start, because it's not about second chances with us, because we know people need more than a second chance. Let's be honest. When we don't address poverty in our community, when we don't address trauma in our community, you're going to have crime. It's not about just sending troops and police into these neighborhoods. Yes, you got to have public safety to stabilize crime so investors can come in and create these jobs, but you just can't send blue in there, right? You got to have other resources. You got to have something to address poverty. You have to do something about failing schools and poor schools and buildings falling apart. Let's be honest, guys.
That's the
right?
pipeline.
Yes. So we have to deal with these things. We talking about really talking about Fresh Start initiatives. These are the things that we want to be looking at. Listen, we're losing time. We're going to be leaving soon, but I thought this is a really great episode. Just spend some time talking about some of the visions of what Fresh Start is trying to accomplish, so you can hear my heart, the heart of the founder and the organizer.
And let me say thank you for the third point, because one of my dearest friends in the world is the first individual to ever be released by the Arizona Justice Project.
Wow.
He was in prison for 17 years. He got stabbed like 70 times for being in there for the crime that he was in there for, that he didn't do.
Wow.
They had to release him because of the Arizona Justice Project.
Wow.
Years later, 17 years later. It's
true,
people. There are people in there that don't belong there.
Do not belong there. Yeah. And some prosecutors know, but they can't open cases. They don't have the new evidence and things like that. We got to have attorneys to go back and have some boldness and some guts to say, no, we're going to open. We're going to spend some money, and we're going to figure this thing out. So that's one of the things I felt like God put on my heart is Fresh Start will at some point will be fighting about wrongful convictions and people that's been left in there just to rot and die, and because they poor or person of color is like, who cares? We care. And so we're going to make sure we look out for them at some point. So we're looking at Fresh Start to be an international, national and international headquarters, to where we have Fresh Starts all over our country doing some amazing work in so many different cities and communities that need it. So Tucson was the baby. Tucson is what gave birth.
And like God, we have no partiality. Everybody should have this.
That's exactly right.
Because everybody needs a fresh start.
Everybody needs a fresh start. You're right. Listen, we're out of time. Listen, we want to thank all of our partners for supporting us. And what Desert Sky?
Desert Skies United Methodist Flea Market and Men's Club sponsors us, 3255 North Houghton Road. Every Monday they're open from 7 to 11. Come on out there and buy some really nice stuff.
Awesome, awesome. Listen, we out of here. We got 10 seconds left. Go to somebody's church and get your praise on tomorrow. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, and whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Trust me. Put your
Amen.
trust in him and everything will be all right. God bless you. See you next Saturday.